Hello.
Hello, welcome to the Knit Girls, episode 230. My name is Laura, also known as Lala.
And I'm Leslie, also known as You Don't Call Me Les. It's November 24th. Did you already say that? Um,
2014 in the States. It is the week of Thanksgiving.
yep.
So I have to work tomorrow, but that is it for the week. So next week's show should be filled with stuff.
Yeah, here's hoping. So, you've been traveling this week, right?
I have. I went to Buffalo, New York, to surprise Wheezy with the 60th birthday party, which is why I didn't talk about it on the podcast because my parents watched the podcast. So Wheezy turned 60, and my mom threw him a surprise birthday party with like 48 people. And he was very surprised. He teared up. So it was good. It was good seeing cousins that I haven't seen in a couple of years, and their new baby. So I got to hold new babies, and seeing my nieces and spending time with my sister and my sister-in-law. And if you're on Instagram, I put up a couple pictures from Buffalo. And last night I flew back. I left Buffalo at 5. Got into Chicago at like 6 because there's a time change there.
Mm-hmm.
And ate all the popcorn, and then bought more popcorn for today, and and left there at 10 o'clock last night, and got in around 11:30, and got home around 12:30, and had to do laundry because I could wear jeans today at work if I did laundry.
And it was worth staying up that extra time?
Well, actually, I put stuff in the washer, and then I took a nap. I took like a 30-45 minute nap, and then I woke myself back up and threw it in the dryer. And jeans are always worth staying up later.
I don't know.
Yes,
So, knitting. What did you knit while you were gone?
while I was gone, before I left, I got some progress done on my Yowza shawl, which is not out of Yowza. It is out of,
Bacon?
yeah, it's made out of bacon. It doesn't look so much like bacon anymore.
No, it's got some purple in it now.
Yeah, it's got, a little bit. I wouldn't call it purple, but I don't know. It's got more yellow to it now. The bacon is slowly leaving the bacon shawl. It is out of Crown Mountain Farms, which is a cool yarn and fiber shop that sadly went out of business. And it's my hand spun. It is a Polworth, and it is 550 yards, and I am using size 7 needles. I just caught a typo in the show notes. Instead of Ricky hat, it says Ricky hate. I probably did on last week's too, and no one said a thing about it. The Ricky hat got like a couple more rows done on it, but not a whole lot. And that's out of the Invictus yarns in the Umbo DK and base in Etta. And the reason why these two things didn't go with me is because for the Yowza shawl, you do something until you get to a certain weight, and I'm like 1 ounce away from that weight. So I was worried that I wasn't going to take a scale with me.
Yeah.
So I didn't want to have to worry about that. And then the hat, I was like, I could work on the hat, but then I'm going to get to a point where I need double points, and I really don't.
For the decreases, yeah.
Yeah, I really don't want to bring double points with me.
There's a lot of thought that goes into your trip knitting.
There is. So, like, everything that I was already working on, I felt like was not at a point where it was manageable for travel. So I cast on something new.
Like you do.
As you do. So I cast on. So I was going through, we got this awesome ebook that we're going to review later in the episode. And so I it immediately came and I wanted to knit everything in it, which is always a good sign. So I downloaded it on my iPad, and the pattern I wanted to use took like 300. The cool thing about this book is like you can use as little or as much as you have. So I wanted around 400 yards of DK weight yarn, and I was rummaging through the stash bins because all around me, y'all can't see it, but there's these black cubicles, and they have bins in them. And on the outside of the bins, there are the super sticky post-notes that tell me what's in the bins. And so one of those bins is just like DK weight. So this is deep, deep stash. This is stash that I, in fact, did not buy. One of my friends had bought it, and she actually needed a fingering weight, and she didn't have the money to go buy more yarn, so I traded it for her. And it's absolutely gorgeous in the pattern. So this is a long story to get to this pattern. So this is the Cassius Curl by Hunter Hammersen. It is getting to the point where it's almost too big that you can see it. I'm using Malabrigo Silky Merino, which is 51% silk, 49% merino wool. It is a single, so it's perfect for a shawl. That's not going to get like a lot of wear. In the gray-green colorway. Green-gray? Green-gray. Ha ha ha. And it's super soft, and this is going to be a Christmas present, probably for my grandmother. And on the right side, I like both the right and the wrong side. You can see. It's got that cool stitch pattern, and it curls up. And the picture looks like this. So that's the model picture. Or
it's very pretty.
This.
I like it like that.
Yeah, so it's kind of like a scarf shawl combo thing going on, which I love. I cast it on yesterday, so I've made really good progress. I did not even look at my gauge, so whatever, it'll work. The model used 325 yards and has a wingspan of 48 inches. I have 3 of these skeins at 150 yards each, so that's like 450.
Mm-hmm.
So I have quite a little bit more to use up. I am done with the first skein. So the first skein is completely used up, and I'm over 100 stitches on the needles now. And I am I started the second skein not too long ago. It's right down there. You can kind of see where it joined, like 2 or 3 rows ago. So it took me around 6 hours to knit a skein, so it'll be around an 18-hour project, I would say, maybe a little bit longer. It's really soft. The guy on the plane next to me asked if I was knitting it for him, and I told him no.
People on planes always ask that. Like the stewardesses, or I guess they're not called stewardesses, and flight attendants. Every time I'm knitting, they're like, "Oh, are you making that for me? You know, are you going to drop it off at the end of the flight?" And I'm like, "Who are you? And why are you? This is mine."
And actually, I lost a stitch marker on the flight. Like as we were taking off, one of my stitch markers went flying, but underneath my seat. But as we landed, it slid back out, and I could get it. It was pretty awesome. Yeah, so a good bit of work went into that as well. I think that's it for me, really, on the needles.
Excuse me.
I have some stuff that for the nieces that is going to get cast on that I brought with me that just did not get done. So that's it for me for on the needles. You finished something though, correct?
I did, and I have stuff on the needles too.
Oh, you have stuff on the needles. See, I'm so tired. I'm just skipping you.
It's okay. I'm going to ignore you and just do what I want. So
that's perfect. Welcome to the club.
So I do still have the Atlantic Current socks. These are by Melissa Meliabella on Rav, and they are for sale now. The pattern is for sale. And I just have not knit a lot on them this week, so I still have probably about a third of the foot, maybe more to go.
Is that a standard heel? Is it just kind of
I didn't listen to the heel directions. I just did what I want. So I just carried the pattern down the heel. The heel in the pattern is the an eye of partridge.
Oh, okay. I like the pattern down the heel, though.
Yeah, I do too. That's why I thought, why not? And she also recommends Fish Lips Kiss heel, which I agree is a good one to use. But since I'm knitting this for a man and I didn't know the depth of his heel, I thought a flap would probably be a better bet. So
yeah. So the pattern doesn't have a heel flap, or it does?
It does have a heel flap, but it's just an eye of partridge pattern versus the
Okay.
slip stitch pattern.
But with fish lips, do you normally do a heel flap?
No, with fish
Okay.
lips, it's essentially short rows,
Okay.
but done in a cool way. So there's that. It's knit on 2.25 millimeter needles, and it is out of Leading Men Fiber Arts Toxic Gas in the, I think it's Showstopper. Nope, it's wrong. Spotlight base,
Cool.
Toxic Gas colorway. That's living in my Joanna Spring bag, who's
Pretty
doing
nice.
a really cool thing. I think this is the second year. Maybe she's been doing it
It's
longer.
technology free around
It's a
Thanksgiving. Yeah.
digital detox the week of Thanksgiving, which I think is a brilliant idea. I can't do it because I still have to work, but and work requires technology, but I think it's a brilliant idea if you can do it, even if it's for a day, you know. I think it's a good idea. The second thing I'm working on, I've done a lot of other crafts this week, which I'll show you later in favorite things, but I really just wasn't happy with anything I had on the needles, not for any reason of the projects, but sometimes you just, it's not like inspiring you, so you have to cast on something new, which is what I did. So I cast on the Pebble Beach Shawlette. This is by Helen Stewart. So this is what the pattern looks like.
Pretty pattern.
It's very simple and very easy to modify. And when Laura mentioned before the way that Helen does her directions, it never really clicked. I was just like, oh, whatever, you know. But
Smile and nod. Smile and nod.
But the way, and I'm just going to show you the first few rows. It's very, like, it's a check-off system, essentially. You do this one thing on this row, and then you can check it off. And as you go, it'll tell you, okay, well, now you're 5% complete. Or now you're 50% complete, or
I
whatever.
know, it's awesome.
It's brilliant, and I don't know why more people haven't adopted this style. It's really,
Because it involves math.
well, there's that, yeah. But you can immediately tell if you're off a stitch. If you're the kind of person who counts after every row, and I am not at all. But I usually count like at every significant like pattern change or whatever. I'll just count and double check. But this way is really easy to know if you're off. So I'm just going to modify all the way up until the last like 20 rows is the same 8 rows over and over. So I'm just going to keep going.
Yeah, cat jumps. There you go.
Yeah. Because I decided to use my loop fold bat. This is the one that's a single.
Oh, yeah.
And I fold the
really
single.
pretty.
So it's a sort of kind of semi-felted. But it's a gradient. And it starts with this. Hi, Humberto.
He can't hear you.
I know. So this is what it looks like right now. It's between a lace and a fingering weight. The pattern calls for a fingering weight. And I have over 800 yards, and the pattern only calls for 430 something. So that's why I say I'm just going to keep going on with this pattern until I get probably into that last color. Maybe a little bit past that.
That's a gorgeous loop bat. She's doing an update tonight, I believe.
Yeah, I don't need anything.
I have a lot of her stuff, so I'm going to be...
Yeah, it's not because I don't like it. Yeah, it's just that I have enough, so I will allow others to share in the wealth. I'm knitting that on the suggested needle size 4 millimeter, which is a US size 6. And
He's just be annoying because he missed me.
he does miss you. It's okay. People like seeing him, believe it or not. Even though you may not because you see him all the time.
He's going to continually... Yeah, baby.
Oh, sweet, sweet boy. And while you're giving him love, I'll finish with my FO.
But you cannot step on those show notes. Thank you.
I finished my Premier hat.
Ooh, cute.
This is out of Neely's Knits in the Starry Night colorway. It's in the DK weight. I don't know what her DK weight is called, but I really think this is a great pattern for variegates. I really like the texture.
I really like it.
And it does fit really well. It's got, yeah. This band is actually really stretchy. I'm impressed. So, and it has a little bit of a slouch to it.
Yeah, you have a good bit left over, too.
It's about a $3 pattern, something like $3. But I think it's pretty unisex, although you probably would want to make it more beanie style for a man. But it is very stretchy for it having that ribbed or that patterned brim. So I'm happy with it.
That's great.
Yeah, and the crown decreases are all done in a star shape. So
I like it when that happens.
so that's it for me for knitting.
I have a finished object. I finished them on the plane yesterday. The ends are not woven in, but everything's been Kitchener's. And
So it's just a block away.
yeah, it's just weaving and ends away. And these are my Dreaming Color Everlasting felt in the Wilderness colorway. So Everlasting is a 9-ply superwash Australian merino, and it is spun and dyed in the U.S. They are 400 yards. I had very little left over, so I did a 1x1 rib up here, going to 3x1, going to plain stockinette, the Belle Began heel out of Sock Architecture, which is a fabulous book. And these were knit on size 1 needles.
2.25.
Yeah, Knitter's Pride Nova Platinos. My sister tried them on, and my sister and my brother-in-law had the same size feet, so these are going to my brother-in-law. Yes,
That's handy.
yeah, it's super handy. So Matt, they got in at 3 a.m. Friday morning or Saturday morning.
Oh my gosh.
So from Philly, so they were sleeping, and then we had adjoining, like unplanned adjoining hotel rooms to the nieces.
Did you sneak in?
And the puppy.
Elsa?
Yes. My brother and sister-in-law have a 17-week-old
Newfoundland.
who weighs 60 pounds already.
Mm-hmm. They get big.
Yeah, she's
My
big.
friends Amy and Anna have one, and she's a big girl, but she's just a little teddy bear. She's
And so soft, and she's just adorable. So the door stayed open the majority of the time when Uncle Matt was not cooking. So Beck and I were just hanging out, and so Matt was sleeping, so I made her try on the.
You didn't try them on his sleeping body?
We were going to.
I feel like that would end badly.
Then we were scared he was going to wake up. And it might have ended badly. Although probably not. So that was my finished object. Finally, all I have left of the yarn is like, man, there's like knitting bags everywhere in here. I really need to clean up the yarn. I have like a walnut size
Oh, that's a
ball.
pretty fair size ball.
Yeah, so I would say they took around 375 yards, and they're like a woman's size 12, men's size 10. So not too bad. I like the heel, how it's made, because it's pretty easy, but I need to make a pair for me so I can attest to them.
Yeah.
And my brother-in-law is hard on his socks, so I'll let y'all know how the Dreaming Color wears. And I'll soak them after I get the ends woven in. So and that was in my bling your string bag, which my mother tried to steal from me. She said it's not in her of Hawaii, and she's never been, so I should give it to her, and I just looked at her.
That should be their next big milestone trip.
They are going on a cruise this winter.
Oh,
to
okay.
Mexico, because they have never been to Mexico. So that's the next big thing. Oh, why are you so annoying? So we have a question. We have a question about sweaters, and it's from Blondie11, and she says, have you ever tried to shrink a wool sweater, and if so, how did you do it? I just made the Tangled Yoke sweater by Uni Jing out of Rowan Felted Tweed, and it is too big. Any recommendations? I really don't want to give it away. I really don't want you to felt that sweater.
Yeah.
Like, here's the deal with felting. I guess the thing is to know where it's too big. And felting shortens the length of your stitches more than the width. So if it's too wide and you try to felt it, it's going to become cropped and probably still a little bit too wide. Felting is not a good way to fix sweater issues. you are much better off. If it's too long, you're better off just snipping a stitch, unraveling around, and re-knitting just the band.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
If it's too big around, felting's not going to really solve that problem anyways. And you're never going to be able to undo felting.
I mean, depending on how much too big it is, you could, if it's tangled yoke is that a pullover?
It is a pullover.
You could possibly do a steek.
Yeah.
And
cardigan.
Yeah, but you would only lose a couple inches in the front. You're not going to lose anything from the back. So width-wise, because of your shoulders don't move; they don't move forward.
Knit in the round, so there's no way that you could just like undo it and take out just a piece. Because if it was knit in pieces and it was too big, you could just like re-knit the back in a small.
Yeah, honestly, I think you're better off just tinking it and remaking it. I mean,
depending on where it's too big.
Yeah, or giving it away. I mean, I know you said you don't want to give it away, but sometimes it is. I would not be able to re-knit that sweater. There's no way. I would just have to let it be gone from my life and move on. But
yep.
Sorry, we don't have any magical answers.
So felting is probably not going to be the best move. We do have a book to review, which I'm super excited about, and Humberto's move, so I can actually get to it. Like, poor Humberto, he has no place to sit. Like, there's no place to sit on this.
Clearly, you do not love him.
I'm clearing it off the desk for him right now. That's how much I love him. So, like, I have stuff on my desk everywhere for designing and other stuff. It's messy up in here because my home office does not get a lot of love. So we have a wonderful book to review. It is Curls by Hunter Hammersen. We are totally biased for this book, so no going in that both of us love Hunter's aesthetic. We've always adored her aesthetic. We like her as a person. We've met her in person.
Yes.
And so we definitely have a bias towards this book anyways. But that being said, this is a book that I can see myself knitting. And we say this a lot about Hunter's books, but this one, I think it's actually going to happen. I think I'm going to knit every single pattern in this book. So this is Curls by Hunter Hammersen. It's published by Pantsville Press, which is self-publishing for Hunter. Mm-hmm. It is $19.95 for the digital version. There's also going to be...
You can go to her site and order the print version for the same cost. Right now, you get a $2 discount. I think until the book actually gets published, which is this week sometime. And then it goes up to $21.
Yeah, and anytime you buy one of Hunter's books, she in print, she gives you the digital version.
Only if you buy it from her. If you buy it from Amazon or another bookseller, you're not going to get the digital download code. So you have to buy it from her site.
So these are versatile wearable wraps to knit at any gauge. They use a variety of size yarns, but really you could use them and just continue on. It's kind of like with the Martina Bem patterns, how you could knit them. Have you ever seen one of the hitchhikers knit out of worsted weight? Mm-hmm. And then you could also do it out of the fingering, which is what it calls for. Curls is very similar in that they are extremely wearable and very easily adaptable to different gauges. That's the word that I'm looking for. So there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 patterns in here. And she does a wonderful layout of all the different curls. I like how they're all photographed kind of similarly on the mannequin. But it's really interesting. So the anatomy of the curl is how it starts. You can kind of see from this photograph how they kind of develop.
Yep.
So they're knit. The one that I'm knitting, you only increase on one side. You increase one stitch every row. And so it kind of develops into this curled type shape. I really, really like her use of color in this book. Because she really uses color to show you what's going on in each section.
Yeah, she's got a very in-depth breakdown of the anatomy of each curl, and different ways that you can modify them, but she also has, a little blurb that says, if you don't want to understand it and you just want to knit, just skip to this section. You don't necessarily need to read all this if you don't want to. But it helps you understand how you can modify each part of the curl. So,
And I also like how she's got a huge section on blocking.
yeah, she talks about how you can modify the slope or add sections to the edging or what have you.
She is friends with JC Breyer, who has the book Charts Made Simple, and JC's been working on these things called stitch maps.
That is probably the most cool thing about this book, is that it incorporates stitch maps into some of the patterns.
So there are stitch maps. So stitch maps kind of show you as it develops. They're really, really neat, and there's a section on how to read that. It starts, the first pattern is the one that I'm knitting, Cassius. There are tons of pictures in this book, so you can see different angles, it draped differently. One thing I do want to say about this book is you do need to read every single note. Otherwise, you will be like me and rip out 4 times.
Aww.
No, like 8 stitches. Really?
Oh, okay.
Like 8 stitches and 2 rows. Not a big deal. But like, had I read that odd rows are wrong side rows, that would have been helpful for reading the chart. Had I looked at the chart and seen that I was supposed to work, because I'm starting with a wrong side row, from the left to the right rather than the right to the left, that would be helpful. Like, these are things, if you are illiterate and read the pattern, they're easy. The very one thing that I wish was included in this book is she tells you what the sample size like blocks out to. Like, the sample used 325 yards of yarn. It's got a wingspan of 48 inches. I wish she would tell you how many stitches she went to, because you're just, there's going to be a final stitch count before she got off, just on the sample. Just so, because I am super impatient. And
you need attainable goals, like
yes,
numbers. Yes.
I need goals. Like, so my goal is to finish this for Harry Potter House Cup, which is Sunday. And so I can, like, I have 3 skeins of yarn, so I'm a third of the way through, so I can do it that way. But, like, it's very helpful to me to be like, oh, the sample shown ended with 300 stitches. That way I'm at, like, 122 right now. That's how crazy I am.
Yeah, that's your flavor, yeah.
Yeah, so I can be like, oh, well, I need to, that's so many stitches a night, so many rows a night. Like, I like breaking it down like that. But the plus side of that, of not having that, is it's very versatile. You can use, even though this calls for DK weight, a Swan's Island DK, which is gorgeous, you can use fingering, you can use worsted. And so every single one has like the shape section, and then it's got the chart. There are no written patterns for this.
Yeah, so you do need to be comfortable reading charts, but I think that the biggest chart is like 6 rows, so it's not a lot of time investment for charts. Plus, I do like that for every chart, she's got the legend right there. Like, you don't have to flip to another page to know what a symbol means. It's right there on your page.
Like, that was amazing. And the notes that go with that chart are also there, like, so you don't have to be flipping back.
I appreciate all the ways that she shows to style the items, because they are an unusual shape. So, for example, cerise, which is this pattern. If you flip to the next page, you see another way to wear it. And then if you flip to the 3rd or the 4th page of that pattern, there's another way to wear it.
Yep, and that's just a 4-row repeat one, too.
Yeah, so I do love that she shows you so many ways to wear, because they are an unusual shape.
Love Gridelin. That's another DK weight one. It's got almost like a textured, cable-y look to it. Absolutely gorgeous. So there's the first way to wear it, which was kind of pulled inside itself. Or you could just wear it as a scarf. If that's too small of a shape for you, this only uses 350 yards of yarn. So get 500 yards of yarn.
Yeah.
And make it, progressively bigger.
I like the Argent a lot. This might be the first one that I knit out of the book.
I bought the yarn for that today.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
I really like it. It's she shows you again several ways to style it. This one is more of a, you could wear it over a nice blouse.
Mm-hmm.
And then this one has the stitch maps as well, which is part of the reason why I really want to knit it, because I've never used stitch maps and I think I would love to try them out.
Yeah.
And here's
I
another way.
Yep, I got a variegated. It uses around 500 yards of a fingering weight yarn. So the loopy you had
So
full
this is your
Misa make.
justification for Wilmisa?
So love that.
I
There.
like the pavinated. It's got almost the stitch pattern almost look like trees. I dig
They
it.
remind me of ginkgo leaves. Well, maybe the next one reminds me of ginkgo leaves a little bit more.
And this one's shown in a sport weight.
The next one's a sport weight too. It's infused kits. Infused kits.
Infuscate? Yeah, I
Um,
like that one a lot.
the yarn really, I love that subtle variegation of the yarn she chose. A lot of these would play well with both variegated, like the one
Hmm.
I'm doing, you could definitely use a variegated yarn for. Um, so there's more possibilities here for different yarns. And that's out of String Theory. Was it Caper? No, Sulku, which is their sport weight. Cool. Just really, really pretty.
Yeah, and she's got some more fine lace as well, if that's more your cup of tea. I like the Ironthine with
That's pretty.
a really fine lace detail, and the border is also in lace.
My favorite, probably in the book, is the Philomat. That's the one that's the cover.
Yes, I agree. I
Uh,
love it so much. I don't love twisted stitches, but I might be willing to deal with them for that.
and that's got a 24 row chart, but I think it's. Look at that. Oh, it's so pretty.
It is pretty.
And that is out of a fingering weight, fine by Spud and Chloe, so a silk merino blend, so it would have that sheen to it. That would be gorgeous out of Volmisa. Everything's gorgeous out of Volmisa.
I like the Ictorine too.
I do too.
With it's got a cabled look with some drape in between the cables. I think that would be a fun one to knit.
So I just feel like it's a very fun. We're not going to go through every pattern. It's even though we could
We
because
could.
it's so pretty. It's such a fun, cool book.
Yeah, it's a very different take on accessories.
Yeah, and Hunter does accessories so well. She's the author of the Knitter's Curiosity Cabinets 1 through 3. We've reviewed some of her other books and patterns. So 14 patterns for the cost of what, 19.99,
Yeah.
19.95.
$20, yeah.
So you're definitely getting a deal. It's an alternative to a shawl that's just really, really pretty, and it's a way to use up special single skeins. That you got this gorgeous skein of Mad Tosh when you were in,
On vacation or something.
yeah, and you want to use it up, and there's so many options here for doing that. So it's one of those, it is definitely both a technique book to some degree, although it doesn't walk you through like how to cable and stuff. But it does walk you through the anatomy of the curls. So there is some techniques
And
that
there's the bonus, you get free access to the stitch maps that are relative to the patterns in the book, which is great if you want to try a different way of chart reading. So, and it's definitely one that I want to try. So I think
it
that's
is
a brilliant idea.
that Hunter, she's pretty brilliant. JC's pretty brilliant too.
Yeah, I agree. So I'm
Prior.
excited about trying out some of these patterns.
Yep. So I had to cast one on right away, and actually the first one, which I'm doing, is extremely memorizable. Like it took me 3 repeats through really to memorize it, and now I can just go to town when I'm not super tired. So, although I was knitting on it earlier at work, because I'm putting books in the system, so I have to wait till like it locates. I put them in by ISBN. I'm cataloging. And sometimes they're already in the system, but I have to wait a couple minutes for it to find them because I'm slow on the internet. So I sit there and knit while I wait. But yeah, so I got some progress on that today. Awesome book. 2 thumbs up. If you're looking for a great Christmas present, the hard copy is not going to be available until January, I think.
I don't
So
know. I think pre-orders
I'm making, yeah, there's
are this month. It's very soon. Let me look it up and tell you. PantsvillePress.com. I love that.
and Hunter's part of a collective.
Yeah, the visionary authors.
The visionary author Sarah Anderson is as well, where it's a bunch of J.C. Breyer people who are looking to self-publish books. So really, really neat idea.
So paper copies will all be in the mail by early December. So
Totally a liar. Awesome Christmas present idea. Highly recommend you get it. So thank you, Hunter. Hunter did send us our copies, so thank you, Hunter.
Yes.
Although we would have bought them anyway.
Yeah, I did. I messaged her and I said, "Hey, your new book looks awesome. Can we review it? If not, I'm just going to buy it anyway."
Oh, anyway. Things that we are reading. I have not been doing much reading at all lately. I've been definitely a reading slacker. I'm still reading Jacoby, which actually was on sale on Kindle last week, so I know a bunch of you picked it up. So I've not gotten any further in that. What happens is books tend to come in here, and then you saw my stack of books. They never leave.
Yeah.
So I need to grab it, and I'm going to read it when I'm off on Wednesday. So that's exciting. I might do a digital detox Wednesday. So that'll be fun. What are you reading now?
I'm still reading Quest, Septimus Heap, the 4th one, and I'm almost done listening to Elantris, which is by Brandon Sanderson. I'm slowly making my way through his entire collections. I haven't had a ton of time to read this week. Like I said, I've been doing a bunch of crafting, but while I've been sewing, I've been listening to Elantris. It was like 30 hours, and I've got maybe 4 hours left, so I'm getting there.
Cool.
So
You've been, speaking of crafting, that's the first thing on the show notes under favorite things. So
yes.
You've been doing a rag quilt and
Yes.
cross-stitching, it sounds like.
So I have been doing some cross stitching. I went with my friend Sue's months back to a local cross stitch. Well, it was local to when we went by that one in Maryland.
It was by Clover Hill.
Clover Hill, yes. I was just thinking of the lady on Instagram, Mamako. I was like, that's not the name. Yes, so Clover Hill Yarn Shop, and just down the walkway from where they are, there was a cross-stitching shop.
Oh, cool.
And so I picked up this little kit.
Oh, that's sweet.
And it's a gift for a friend. So I did that earlier this week. And it took a couple days, on and off, maybe 4 hours altogether. So that was a nice way to just do something different. And it is a kit by Shepherd's Bush. shepherdsbush.net if you're interested in it. But it was really easy, and it came with all the floss. I think it was like $20. And it came with everything that you needed except a needle. And the other thing, non-knitting related, is a rag quilt. I cut all the fabric, sewed all the sandwiches, and sewed the sucker together.
So what did you do with the other one?
It's in timeout.
Okay.
I can't decide. Gigi said that I should sew it diagonally through the corners, down to backing and to the middle stuff, batting. And I may, but right now I just don't feel like it. So my father-in-law is getting a quilt for Christmas, and there's no chance at all that he watches the show. So none whatsoever. So I picked out some manly colors, very neutral, and I had to rip it out a couple times, parts of it, because I kept screwing it up. But basically, the back of it is all one color, and all you can see are the X's where I sewed the sandwiches of these quilt blocks. And then on the front, let me find a section that I have done already. Let's be on this side. On the front of it, you you sew it with like a 1/2 inch seam, and
Oh.
then you end up with, oh, here we go, these sections where you've got bunches of, you got your layers,
Yeah.
and then you take these 1/4 inch snips and you cut 1/4 inch cuts.
That sounds like a job for Kobe.
Yeah, except if you cut the seam, you're kind of hosed. So,
Not a job for Kobe.
no. So I did a big panel of them last night. It took me 2 hours to get through a pretty big panel of it. And I have 5 more of the same size to do.
So does the edges at the end, do they get bound, like on the outside? Like
No,
put
you do the
them
fraying on the outside too.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's the only thing I have left to do is to sew a 1/2 inch seam all around the outer edge. But it was time to record, so I didn't have time.
Yeah.
And then you take it to a laundromat. You do not wash it in your commercial washing or your home washing machine and
Because
dryer
you'll wreck it.
for the first time because
Yeah,
it
'cause all
gets
the
rid of all the
frays.
lint
Yeah.
and everything. And commercial machines are built to stand up to that, but not home machines. It is worth the $10 it will take me to wash it in the laundromat. So,
And you can sit and knit while you wait for it.
yeah, and listen to an audiobook. So I've got to do that. I've got to sew around the edge and then spend several days this weekend clipping. I've got spring-loaded snips
Yeah.
at Megan Crafty Pancakes recommendation.
Yeah, those are good.
So yeah, I just have to not try to do it all in one sitting because I will hate myself and everyone else if I try to do it all in one
Your
sitting.
thumbs will start hurting from the snip.
Yeah,
that.
well, it's right here. Yeah, it'll start
Yeah.
getting achy. It did last night. That's why I finally stopped. So that's some of the crafting that I've been up to this week.
Oh, we just wanted to remind people that we have a coupon code for KnitVent 2014 for 25% off both the 2013 and the 2014 with the code KG25. So that's pretty awesome. The Candlelight Shawl was out last week, and then there was this really pretty mohair cowl that came out this week. Just gorgeous. So really, really neat. We have 2 giveaways. We are actually going to pull for the Invictus Yarns giveaway. Totally just had that and moved it because of Humberto, and now he's gone. Oh, there it is.
I'm going to pull up random number on my phone.
So it is for this, the reward base in the haze colorway, which is super pretty. There are, let's see, between 2 and 203.
2 and 203, okay.
We are going to add a provision to our giveaways from now on because it came up that the prize that you are drawn for is the prize that you win. Our prizes are donated, and so we really can't exchange out prizes. By signing up in that thread, you are agreeing that you want that prize.
All right, so the generated number is 97, which should be on the 4th page.
And if you just want to give me your prize, I'll take it. Everything we get is really, really awesome, and I kind of want it all. So that is Glattstrike, Glattstikk from Norway. Awesome.
Yay.
It's a lot of customs form. I love it. And she would make Henslow. Henslow is totally on my to knit list.
It's in my queue.
Gorgeous shawl. It's actually like I have a cart on Ravelry that's got like 40 patterns in it. It's like 4 of her patterns are all grouped together in that cart.
Yeah, I love that one. That's on my to knit list too.
Gorgeous stuff. So Glattstikk. If you will PM me, Lala, your mailing address. I meant to get to the post office last week, guys. Totally didn't.
Yeah, I didn't either.
Like crazy. So it will happen it's going to happen tomorrow, actually.
No, mine won't happen until next week probably, but
since I'm off for a couple of days, I can make that happen. So thank you so much. We do have something new to draw for. But it is not this. This is mine. Where's the other one? So this is mine. This is by the same person.
Have.
This is mine. This is Neely's Knits. Leslie just finished the hat out of her stuff.
The Premier hat.
Over here. And I had her specially dye a colorway called Anna. which I pronounced Anna this weekend, and you would have thought that I was murdering nieces.
They're very serious about their Disney.
It is hardcore now, you know. Um, so she sent another Disney colorway for y'all. This is Mermaid's Tale, which was inspired by The Little Mermaid.
Aww.
It's really, really pretty.
It looks kind of like a water lilies.
It does. It's got great shimmer to it. It is 55% superwash at BFL, 45% silk. So really, really cool blend. Cool. Ashley does some really nice stuff. I have a lot of her self-striping. I just looked at it. That's all right there. And you can find her at neelysknits.etsy.com. Yep. She's got a great group over there. And so what we want you to do is head over to there and tell us your favorite base or colorway that she carries and post it in the thread in the group. The thread will be open tomorrow as soon as I see that the show's gone up, or tonight whenever I notice that it's gone up. Thank you all for your patience with that, because sometimes it takes me a day or two to notice that the show went up. And like all our contests, they take place on Ravelry. It's 1 entry per person. You must be a group member to win. You must,
no chatter.
Yeah, 1 entry, no chatter, and you have to like comment about what we ask you to comment about. Although we're kind of about that. We're not like super policey about that.
Yeah.
But like I said earlier, we're not going to do trading out of prizes.
Yeah.
For specific. Now it's different if like it's for like the Halloween cats and you win spinning fiber and you don't spin.
Yeah.
Like that's different. But when we do things that are donated from very kind people,
when a thread is devoted to that particular prize, then you
want
entering it means
prize. You want that prize.
Yeah. Okay, enough of that.
Seriously, because we are very non-policey. All right. The Alice Cal, ALLIS, is still going on. It's awesome.
It's a pattern by our friend Lynn.
Yeah, I need to text Lynn because her niece was having some issues, so I want to check back in on that. See, I'm thinking. So the Alice Cal, all the proceeds go to a good friend's niece's medical fund. So that's great. Infinite Twist kits.
Yes, our kits.
Yours is on sale.
Well, our kits both went up this week on infinitetwist.com.
And we did a cute little quiz on the blog. So
just a silly little thing.
Yeah.
I know that we're both really happy with our designs. This is the first time I've designed for someone I don't know personally. And she's wonderful to work with. And I love her fair trade policies and just her business acumen in general. She has a very small amount of the Nimbus yarn and ordered more to fulfill or in expectation of orders, and when she got it, it wasn't the same yarn, so she's going back and forth with the mill. There is nobody who's placed an order isn't going to get what they've ordered, but anyway, in the interim, she decided to offer the hand spun kit, which is a value of $150 for $98. So that kit is on sale for a great deal. If you're interested, again, it's over at infinitetwist.com.
That makes me want to order one.
My kit is Trouvaille, and Laura's is Whiz Popper. So there's that. And then the other thing I wanted to talk about just briefly was Small Business Saturday.
Uh-huh.
So Michael came up to me. Michael is Mr. Awesome, my significant other, and he came up to me last week and he said, "Have you heard of this Small Business Saturday thing?" And I was like, "Dude, I've heard of it years ago. Like, where have you been?"
Wow.
I was like, "You normally know about things way before me, but I guess not." So I was like, "Yeah, a lot of our a lot of independent dyers and crafters really try to promote themselves for Small Business Saturday." And Small Business Saturday, if you don't know, is sort of a playoff of Black Friday, where here in the States, it's not as bad now because you can buy a lot of things online, but in previous years, the day after Thanksgiving, shopping was crazy.
Because people run very big specials on
Right.
very limited number of stuff. And now it's actually gone to Thanksgiving Day, which is so
Yes.
crazy.
Yeah, they have employees come in on Thanksgiving Day. Some companies, not all companies. So, in a sort of a way to play off of that popularity, but do it for small businesses, there's Small Business Saturday. So, um, I would just wanted to put that out there. If you're looking to purchase gifts for friends or family, consider doing it with a small business and actually go out and check those places this week. They're probably running a Small Business Saturday deal. Um, I know you can always check on our Shut Up and Take My Money thread on
Yep.
Ravelry, where we have tons of independent crafters out there selling their products. So,
Like Steve of Dramatic Knits is having a sale this weekend.
and it's progressive, so each day is a different percent
Yep.
of sale. So, not that we're stalkers or anything. But yeah, so definitely go out and check your favorite indies for deals that they might have for Saturday. So
Yeah, and like Casey of Tangerine Designs isn't offering her bags on sale, but she's donating a share of the proceeds to a charity, which is really,
yeah,
really
and she does that every year. This year it's water.org or something with
water
providing
charity.
clean water. I can't remember the site, but yeah. So that's another factor to consider. But just wanted to put that out there.
Yep, yep.
Yep, and yeah, we're both off for parts of this week, so hopefully we'll have some good crafting to show y'all next week.
Hopefully there'll be some finished objects. Hopefully, because Sunday is the last day of House Cup. I
Mm.
have my owl spinning done, but I don't know that it's gonna happen. I'm getting a little nervous.
I've been cleaning some of my Cordell Cross. I've cleaned, I don't know, a pound yesterday and a pound the day before, but
Wow.
just off and on.
Yeah, I have a pound to spin for the owl, but that's not the hard part. Like the most singles, for the most part, are done with that. You have to do something different for your like a new to use skill, and I put that I would drop spindle or spindle spin 2 ounces and ply on the fly of it, and I just don't like doing it. Like I just need to motivate myself to do it. Let's just put it that way.
Can you do it thicker so it'll go faster?
Yeah, I mean I can do up to a DK weight. So and it's only 2 ounces. It's one of the uh batlings from
Oh,
Hobbledehoy.
yeah, okay.
So it'll be interesting. I mean, it's not terrible. I need to get like one batling done a day at least. So that's what I'm gonna do tonight as I watch Scorpion. Going to spindle spin.
Rock on.
So yeah, we'll see if it gets done. But anyway,
Well, y'all have a wonderful week. If you're in the States and celebrating Thanksgiving, we hope you enjoy the time with your family. Otherwise, we will see you on Sunday. Bye, y'all.
bye.